All right, guys. So what we're going to be going over today is how to turn your shit mic into something that's actually worth hearing. How to actually turn something, and I hope to God you guys hear my mic and it sounds decent. So don't clown me if it doesn't. In my opinion, my mic sounds pretty decent. So back to what I was saying. How to turn your mic into something that, your streams or your YouTube videos go from sounding like a keyboard's mating with your fucking middle finger when you're pressing W to actually not hearing no background noise, to where your sound levels are so low that nobody is in the room, that if there's somebody in the room that's talking to you, that nobody in your stream could hear them, because that's not what you want. You don't want that to happen. All right, so let's just go ahead and get straight into it. All right, so with this being said, it's going to be really, really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to do everything like normal. You're going to pull up Streamlabs. All right, like literally if you stream on Stream Elements, I hope this works for you, but I don't do that, so I'm not gay. So we're going to go over here, and what we're going to do is it's really simple. If you look at my past videos, I was giving you guys the 3 fundamentals of streaming. One of those fundamentals was a mic. Okay, so you should know how to, put a mic in. If you don't, watch that video, but it's like I'm gonna do it right now, so literally just watch this, I guess. So with this being said, audio input capture, really simple. You're gonna go ahead and click on this, you're gonna go add new source, and then you're gonna go ahead and add literally whatever it is that you want to add. For example, I could add this microphone Elgato sound capture, and that would work. But let's just go ahead and do stereo mix, because I'm just gonna go ahead and do that because I don't want to make things hard. So what you're gonna do from here is, oh, sorry about that. You're gonna go ahead and go here, and you're gonna click on this, and you're gonna go to filters, and then once you go to open up filters, it's gonna give you a array of like many things that you could do. So I'm gonna explain to you what each one does. So gain, what gain does is it literally, just like it says, it just puts decibels on top of your decibels. So a decibel is the degree at which sound is like put out. So 1 decibel is like equal to like it's very low. Let's say like 80, I believe 80 decibels is something like a concert. Anyways, we're not gonna go ahead and talk about that because I'm not a fucking sound engineer. So with that being said, it literally just takes every single sound that is in your that is being displayed from your keyboard to your sound coming out of your mouth to snapping to people over there. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't suppress any noise. It just literally, you could make it like, watch. If I go over here and I press gain and then I go to the negatives, it will just make it to where you're putting out less decibels. But every single sound is still going to exist. But what we want to do is we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to make it to where our microphone picks up only the sound to about this far, because, or maybe like this far, or like, to where it picks it up from far. Like it could pick it up from over here, but I want it to be to where you guys don't hear me as much. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be where it's something, you know what I mean? It needs to get like as far as I get distance from the mic, it needs to get smaller and smaller and smaller until you're like at 5 feet away and you can't hear not a damn thing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go back to what we were doing. So go ahead and right click, and oh, sorry about that. You're going to right click back on the audio capture, and then you're going to go to filters. You're going to go to like literally back to over here to the plus sign. Now, instead of gain, you're going to go into noise suppression. What noise suppression does is it allows it does the same thing as the decibels. It puts everything that is being, like, the decibels at a negative. You could do this with gain. It's literally the same thing. I've looked into it. All my research points to that. Okay, so polarity is very simple. What polarity does is it's something that you could only do if you have a soundboard, and the polarity will allow you to pick up different sounds in different ways. So if you have a soundboard, I'm going to make a future video on that. It's very specific. We're not going to go into the polarity right now, but with that being said, let's go to noise gate. What noise gate does is it allows you to do what I was exactly just saying. It doesn't suppress your decibels, but what it does is the low sounds or the high sounds you could remove altogether. So by closing your threshold and opening your threshold, it literally is saying exactly like that. The close means at what it stops at. Literally what the sound will stop picking sound up at. The open threshold is what it will pick it up at. So how how loud does it have to be? So this is important. This is important because me talking, I speak louder than the keyboard clicking. So when your keyboard clicks and clacks, that literally is a lower tone or a lower decibel level that is being spit out to you guys. So literally you're going to want to put your open threshold lower and your closed threshold, you know, at a different angle. So literally this is default. Try the default out. See what that has to offer. If it doesn't work, tweak it. Like I said, close is what it stops picking the loudness up at. The super freaking loud. See the difference? And the extremely low sounds that it picks up are not picked up because it doesn't pick up the low sounds as good, because the closed threshold is for the loud sounds and the open threshold is for the really soft and mild low decibel tones. So that's really something to, you know, that's really helpful if you don't know that. Okay, so then below that is compressor. What this does is compressor to me is kind of useless because your sound gets compressed already through Twitch. They have a default compressor through their programs built in. Trust Twitch. They're, you know what I mean? They're going to compress the shit out of your sound. As long as I feel like noise gate is good. But if you did want to try the compressor out, I suggest putting your, how do I say? I suggest doing the default. If not, you're going to get all out of whack. I will go through these and tell you what this means. Ratio is just as this is a ratio. It's going to be the ratio of what your attack, threshold, release, and output gain is. So it's going to be a certain ratio. So as you change ratio, it will change threshold, attack, release, output gain. You won't see it be changed, but it's affecting the entire problem. Okay. Threshold is the threshold at which voices are picked up and they are not picked up. Kind of like noise gate, but not really, because of the fact that threshold doesn't rely on loud or soft. It's just a threshold of sounds. It doesn't go off of decibels. It literally goes off of a threshold of distance away. Attack, what attack does is it allows it to, the lower you have your attack compared to the higher, what that does is you want it to be lower because it, how do I say, by having it like, let's say I put it to 1, it'd be like instant. It'd be instant. It's always gonna work. Having it to 7 is, it's kind of instant, but like it gives me a little bit of room to fuck around. So like, you know what I'm saying? It gives me a room to, like, if I am over there and I want to scream, it gives me a little bit of room to scream. But if I put it at 1, those settings would be so adjust that I couldn't do anything about it. Release is very simple. It's simple. This is kind of like noise gate, but not really. Like I said, what release does is it like literally just releases your sound, but it releases it at a certain ratio, you know. So the lower you have it, the more it will be released quicker. So it would, the compression to it, it'll spit out. So sometimes, literally, if I'm not even joking, if you have your compressor on, sometimes it'll sound like you're speed talking on stream, but you're not. It's because it's being compressed so hard. Output gain is just like gain in general. It's just putting an extra gain on it. It's sidechain ducking source. So what this does is you literally have certain sounds for certain things. So even your alert boxes or your follower goals, they should have sounds to them, and you could tweak that to where this is input directly into it, and then you could tweak those sounds from here. I don't suggest doing that. I suggest editing those specifically to themselves. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and go further. So you have your limiter. Limiter is literally just, lots of these things are kind of like inside of each other, but limiter is just like that. Closes a threshold and it puts a release on it. It chooses when the sound should be released, and it chooses the threshold at which it is released. I promise you, play around with this stuff, but we're not at the sweet spot, guys. If we're at the sweet spot, I'll let you know. We're coming to it. This is going to be getting good. BS2.x plugin. It's so simple. Literally, you come over here and you go to, where is it at? Go to Regate standalone.dll. You're going to click that and you're going to go in and do it. That right there is going to like subjugate your sounds to where a program, like a program will designate most of the program. I don't know exactly what it does. All I know is that I've done research through it. I got that program and I've done that one, and ever since I have the greatest sounds for myself. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I do. So now let's just go ahead and go further. This is the biggest hoorah to the fucking hoorahs that a lot of people are just madly insane and don't know. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to sound settings. Go ahead and look up sound settings. Boom. Okay, now that you have your sound settings open, you're gonna go to sound control panel. Okay, so now you have your sound control panel. This is the fucking sweet spot to it all, my friend. Okay, now when I'm talking about sweet spot, I'm talking about you won't have a keyboard clack ever again if you follow these exact instructions. I don't care if you have a mic connected to your headset or a mic that's connected to a fucking boom mic. It doesn't matter. So let's just go ahead and go further. You're going to go ahead and go to recording, because literally that's what's being recorded. Then you're going to go to stereo mix, just like I showed you. And then I'm going to go to properties, okay? Because that's what I've been, remember, stereo mix is what I've been fucking with. I am not recording on this. This has just been an example for you so that you could follow along and we could just go further. Now you're going to go to levels. I have it 100. That means that the microphone will pick up everything at 100 and it will spit it out at 100. Now, if I were to put that down to 50, it'd be half, okay? I suggest doing this. If you don't do this, play around with it. Give it a shot. I put mine to 80. No matter what. I'm not going to play around with it, because why should I mess up my settings for a YouTube video? Thanks for coming by, guys. We're probably going to be making another video like very soon about alert boxes, how to personalize them. If you guys found this helpful in the slightest bit, please drop a comment down below and tell me how it helped you. If it didn't help you, please tell me how it didn't help you. Please go to your Streamlabs, launch your stream, put your PC in, and get going. Let's see what your mic sounds like. Let's try to remove the puss and the crazy click clacketing in the background, and let's try to remove it to where you could hear everything from your parents walking into your room to your girlfriend asking you if you're hungry. Let's try to make it to where it's more peaceful and more homey, and something that's gonna make it to where the viewers that are watching you don't feel uncomfortable and they feel like it's an experience with you and not with your vacuum. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. And other than that, just stay healthy and don't get COVID.